Welcome back to Health Zone with Dr. Zee, where your health becomes your strength. Today we are diving into the world of high-protein powerhouse foods. The kind that sculpt muscle, speed up recovery, and elevate your fitness game. Whether you're an athlete, a gym enthusiast, or simply someone who wants to build a stronger body, understanding which foods deliver the most protein per gram can transform your journey. Let's start by understanding why protein matters. Protein is made up of amino acids, tiny bricks that build our muscles, repair tissues, and even produce enzymes and hormones. Without sufficient protein, muscle growth simply cannot happen, no matter how intense your workouts are. But here's the catch. Not all protein is created equal. When we compare foods, protein density and quality both matter. For instance, 100 grams of chicken breast packs around 31 grams of complete protein. Salmon offers about 25 grams per 100 grams, along with omega-3s that reduce inflammation. Eggs may seem modest at 13 grams per 100 grams, but they are a gold standard of biological value, meaning the body can absorb and use them almost entirely. If you want ultra-high protein content, whey protein isolate can hit 90 grams of protein per 100 grams, making it one of the densest protein sources on Earth. Then comes lean beef with about 26 grams and tuna reaching 29 grams. These animal sources are complete proteins, carrying all 9 essential amino acids your muscles need to grow. But let's not forget plant power. Soybeans contain 36 grams of protein per 100 grams, higher than chicken. Lentils and chickpeas fall around 20 grams per 100 grams, and though they lack some amino acids individually, combining them with grains like brown rice forms a complete protein profile. This is a critical insight for vegetarians and vegans aiming to build muscle effectively. Now here's something many people overlook. Quality beats quantity alone. Eating massive amounts of protein won't build more muscle if your body can't utilize it. Hydration, sufficient calories, vitamins, and minerals are all part of the synergy that helps protein turn into muscle tissue. Too much protein without balance can strain the kidneys. So aim for around 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight if you're training hard. So what's the takeaway? For maximum muscle building, mix lean animal pronations, smart plant combinations, and quality protein supplements. This strategy not only optimizes muscle growth but also supports overall health, hormone function, and long-term vitality. That's your muscle building masterclass on Health Zone with Dr. Zee. Fuel your body with the right proteins, train consistently, and watch your strength transform from the inside out. When we talk about building muscle, enhancing strength, or achieving a toned and powerful body, there is one nutrient that stands out as the absolute cornerstone: protein. It is not just another nutrient on your plate. It is the primary structural component of every muscle fiber, every tissue, and even many of the enzymes that keep your body functioning. To understand why certain foods with very high protein content are so effective for muscle building, we must first understand what protein actually does in the human body and how it relates directly to muscle growth and recovery. Protein is composed of amino acids, which are like the tiny bricks that build the walls of your muscles. There are about 20 amino acids that the human body uses, and out of these, 9 are called essential amino acids because your body cannot make them. You must obtain them from food. These essential amino acids are the critical pieces that your muscles rely on after every training session, every heavy lift, every sprint, and even after everyday physical wear and tear. Without these building blocks, your body cannot effectively repair the micro tears that occur in your muscle fibers during exercise, and as a result, muscle growth simply halts. Now, here's where high protein foods come into the picture. When you consume a food that has a very high protein content per serving, you are delivering a concentrated dose of these amino acids straight into your system. Think of it like supplying a construction site with plenty of bricks and cement. The more high-quality materials you provide, the faster and stronger the building goes up. In this same way, a body aiming to build lean muscle needs a steady and abundant supply of quality protein. And the most efficient way to achieve that is by incorporating foods that are naturally rich in protein. Another critical reason high-protein foods matter is that they stimulate muscle protein synthesis, MS. The actual cellular process where your body builds new muscle fibers. Scientific studies have shown that consuming protein-rich foods after exercise can double or even triple the rate of muscle protein synthesis compared to eating low-protein foods. This is why you often hear fitness coaches and sports nutritionists emphasize post-workout protein intake. When your muscles are in that repair and rebuild mode, giving them a high dose of protein creates the perfect environment for growth. But not all proteins are equal in their power to stimulate MPS. Some foods are complete proteins, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids in optimal ratios for human health. Examples include eggs, chicken breast, fish, beef milk, and whey protein isolate. These are particularly effective because the body can use almost all of their amino acids directly for muscle repair and growth. When a food is high in protein and has a high biological value, meaning the proportion of absorbed protein that becomes part of the body's proteins, it becomes a muscle-building powerhouse. On the other hand, some plant-based foods such as lentils, chickpeas, kidney beans, and brown rice contain good amounts of protein but may lack one or two essential amino acids. However, when they are combined cleverly, like beans with rice or lentils with whole grains, they can complement each other to create a complete amino acid profile. This is a powerful concept for vegetarians and vegans. By pairing plant proteins, they can achieve the same muscle-building effect as animal proteins, as long as total protein intake is high enough. It's also important to consider the density of protein per serving. Some foods give you small amounts of protein along with lots of carbs or fats, while others are almost pure protein. For example, 100 grams of chicken breast gives you about 31 grams of protein with very little fat, making it extremely protein-dense. Similarly, tuna provides about 29 grams of protein per 100 grams, and whey protein isolate can offer an astonishing 90 grams per 100 grams. Foods with such high concentrations are ideal for those aiming to maximize muscle gain without consuming excessive calories, which is often crucial for athletes who want lean muscle rather than bulk fat gain. High-protein foods also play a vital role in muscle recovery, which is just as important as muscle building. Every workout causes microscopic damage to muscle fibers. Your body needs to repair these fibers to make them stronger, and that repair process relies entirely on amino acids from protein. If your diet is low in protein, these micro tears don't fully heal, and you may experience chronic soreness, fatigue, or even muscle loss. But when your diet consistently includes foods with very high protein levels, your muscles recover faster, soreness decreases, and you are ready to train again sooner. This creates a positive cycle: train, recover, grow, which is the key to continuous progress. Another benefit of consuming foods rich in protein is their thermic effect. Protein takes more energy to digest than carbohydrates or fats, meaning your body burns more calories just by processing it. While this doesn't directly build muscle, it helps manage body fat levels, which is critical for athletes or anyone who wants visible muscle definition. A leaner body allows muscles to appear more pronounced, and high-protein foods contribute to this by supporting muscle growth while reducing excess fat gain. Also, protein-rich foods help stabilize blood sugar levels and maintain satiety, meaning you feel fuller for longer. This helps prevent unnecessary snacking on low-nutrient foods, which can sabotage a muscle-building diet. In other words, high-protein foods don't just build muscle. They also help protect your nutrition discipline by keeping hunger under control. However, it's worth noting that simply eating massive amounts of protein is not the solution. The body has a limit to how much protein it can utilize for muscle growth at one time. Research suggests that most people can effectively use 20 to 40 grams of protein per meal to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. Eating more than that at once doesn't build more muscle. The excess is either converted to energy or stored. Therefore, the smarter approach is to spread protein-rich foods evenly throughout the day. For example, starting your morning with eggs, having chicken breast or tofu at lunch, and a whey protein isolate shake after training keeps your body constantly supplied with amino acids. There is also an important age-related factor. As people get older, the body becomes less efficient at using dietary protein to build muscle, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. This means older adults may actually need more protein-rich foods than younger people to achieve the same muscle-building effect. This makes the inclusion of high-protein foods even more crucial with age to prevent muscle loss and maintain strength. One more point that often gets overlooked is protein timing around workouts. Consuming high-protein foods within about 30 to 60 minutes after resistance training has been shown to significantly boost muscle repair. This post-workout period is often called the anabolic window, a time when your muscle cells are extra sensitive to nutrients. Having a high-protein snack like whey protein isolate, Greek yogurt, or tuna after exercise ensures the amino acids get to your muscles when they need them the most. Let's also talk about the quality markers of protein. Two common scientific measures are biological values, BV, and protein digestibility, corrected amino acid score, PDCAS. Foods like eggs and whey protein isolate score almost a perfect 1.0 on PDCAS, meaning they provide all essential amino acids in optimal ratios and are easily digested. This is why athletes often rely on these particular foods. They deliver maximum usable protein per bite. On the other hand, some plant proteins may score lower individually, but when combined, they can achieve the same result. And while protein is the star nutrient, it doesn't work alone. Building muscle also requires adequate energy intakes, calories. If you're eating high-protein foods, but not enough total calories, your body may actually break down some of that protein for energy instead of using it to build muscle. That's why professional nutrition plans for athletes often emphasize pairing protein with sufficient healthy carbohydrates and fats to fuel training and recovery. Hydration also matters. High-protein foods create more nitrogen waste as the body metabolizes amino acids, and your kidneys excrete this waste in urine. If you don't drink enough water, this can place stress on your kidneys. Staying well hydrated allows your body to handle a high-protein diet safely and effectively. So if you are increasing your intake of protein-rich foods, you must also increase your water intake proportionally. In summary, the reason high-protein foods are such a powerful tool for muscle building is that they provide the essential raw materials your body absolutely needs to repair and grow muscle tissue. They accelerate recovery, stimulate the cellular processes that build muscle, prevent muscle breakdown, enhance satiety, and even support a leaner body composition. Without them, even the most intense training program will fail to produce results. With them, your training gains can multiply. That is the power of protein, and why choosing foods with extraordinarily high protein content per serving is not just helpful, but essential for anyone serious about building a stronger, leaner, and healthier body. When it comes to muscle building, simply knowing that a food contains protein is not enough. What really determines its effectiveness is how much protein it delivers, how well the body can digest and absorb it, and whether it contains the right balance of essential amino acids. That's why comparing protein-rich foods is not just an interesting nutritional exercise. It's a powerful strategy to design a diet that maximizes muscle growth. Two foods may both claim to be high in protein, but they can behave very differently inside the body. To make intelligent choices, we need to understand three major pillars of comparison of protein density, biological value, and amino acid profile. Let's start with protein density, which refers to how much protein a food contains relative to its weight or calories. This is often expressed as grams of protein per 100 grams of food or per serving. It tells us how concentrated the protein is. For example, chicken breast has about 31 grams of protein per 100 grams, while salmon has about 25 grams. Eggs have around 13 grams per 100 grams, and whey protein isolate can contain up to 90 grams of protein per 100 grams. This matters because if you want to build muscle without overeating, you want foods that deliver a high amount of protein without excessive extra calories from carbs or fats. High-density protein foods make it easier to reach your protein targets while controlling your overall calorie intake, which is crucial for staying lean while building muscle. But protein density alone does not tell the whole story. A food could be dense in protein, yet not be as effective for muscle building because of its biological values BV. Biological value measures how efficiently the body can use the absorbed protein for tissue growth and repair. In simple terms, it answers the question: out of the protein you eat, how much actually becomes part of your muscles, organs, and cells? A higher biological value means more of the protein you eat is converted into body protein. Eggs are often considered the gold standard with a BV of nearly 100, meaning almost all of the protein is utilized by the body, where protein isolate has an even higher BV of about 104 to 110, which makes it one of the most efficient proteins you can consume. In comparison, plant proteins such as wheat or rice have much lower BVs, often below 60, meaning the body uses less than 2/3 of the protein they contain for muscle growth. So when you compare foods, you must look beyond just how much protein is in them, and also ask how much of that protein your body can actually use. Another scientific measure related to biological value is the protein digestibility, corrected amino acid score, PDCAS. This score, which ranges from 0 to 1.0, considers both the amino acid composition of a food and its digestibility. A food with a PDCAS of 1.0 provides all the essential amino acids in ideal amounts and is highly digestible. Eggs, milk, casein, soy protein, and whey protein isolate all score 1.0. By contrast, peanuts and wheat gluten score around 0.5, meaning they lack some essential amino acids and are less digestible. This is why comparing foods by PDCAS gives a clearer picture of their real muscle building potential than looking at protein grams alone. Now, let's focus on amino acid profile, which might be the most critical part of this comparison. Remember, protein is made of amino acids, and out of the 20 amino acids used by the body, 9 are essential. If a protein source does not contain all 9 essential amino acids in sufficient amounts, it is called an incomplete protein. Most animal-based foods, like chicken breast, fish, eggs, beef, and milk, are complete proteins. They provide all essential amino acids in the right proportions, which is why they are so effective at stimulating muscle protein synthesis. Plant-based proteins such as lentils, chickpeas, beans, nuts, and seeds are often incomplete. They may be low in one or more essential amino acids like lysine, methionine, or tryptophan. This does not mean they are useless for muscle building, but it does mean they must be combined strategically. For example, grains are low in lysine but high in methionine, while legumes are high in lysine but low in methionine. Eating them together, like rice and beans, creates a complete amino acid profile. This is the key concept behind complementary proteins, and it shows why understanding amino acid profiles is vital when comparing protein sources. Digestibility is another factor that strongly influences the usefulness of protein-rich foods. Even if a food contains a lot of protein and all essential amino acids, if your body cannot digest and absorb it well, it won't contribute effectively to muscle building. Animal proteins are generally highly digestible because their structure is similar to human body proteins. Plant proteins can be less digestible due to the presence of anti-nutritional factors like fiber, phytates, and tannins that interfere with protein absorption. This is why processing methods such as soaking, fermenting, or sprouting plant foods can improve their digestibility and raise their protein quality. When comparing protein-rich foods, athletes and trainers often prefer highly digestible proteins around their workouts so that amino acids can reach the muscles quickly and stimulate recovery. Comparing protein-rich foods also involves understanding the speed of absorption, often called protein kinetics. Some proteins are fast digesting, like whey protein isolate, which floods the bloodstream with amino acids within 30 minutes. This makes them ideal right after training, when the body urgently needs raw materials for repair. Others are slow digesting, like casein, which releases amino acids steadily over several hours. This makes them useful before sleep to support overnight muscle repair. When you compare foods for muscle building, thinking about when you will consume them can be just as important as how much protein they contain. A smart plan combines fast proteins for immediate recovery and slow proteins for sustained muscle feeding. Another subtle but important factor when comparing protein-rich foods is their nutrient package. Some protein sources come bundled with beneficial nutrients that support muscle growth indirectly. For example, salmon and mackerel bring omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce muscle inflammation and improve recovery. Beef provides iron and creatine, which support energy metabolism during training. Eggs provide choline for nervous system health. Even soybeans come with isoflavones that may aid muscle maintenance. When comparing protein-rich foods, looking at their full nutrient profile helps you choose ones that not only build muscle directly, but also enhance the body systems that support muscle training. Let's also address the calorie-to-protein ratio, which matters especially for people trying to build muscle while staying lean. Foods like chicken breast or egg whites give you very high protein, with minimal fats or carbs, which is excellent for lean bulking. On the other hand, nuts and cheese contain good protein but also high fat, which means you may get extra calories quickly. This does not make them bad, but it means they should be balanced carefully. When comparing foods, it's wise to think in terms of how much protein you get per 100 calories, not just per 100 grams. This gives a clearer picture of efficiency. Furthermore, comparing protein-rich foods can help prevent nutritional monotony and deficiency. Relying on only one or two protein sources can lead to gaps in micronutrients or digestive issues. Rotating between different high-protein foods, like fish, poultry, eggs, Greek yogurt, soy protein, lentils, and chickpeas, ensures a wide spectrum of amino acids, vitamins, and minerals. This diversity supports not just muscle growth, but also overall health, immunity, and hormonal balance, all of which indirectly influence muscle development. Also, comparing protein-rich foods teaches us about satiety and appetite control, which are crucial when managing body composition. High-protein foods generally increase feelings of fullness more than carb or fat-heavy foods. But some protein sources are more satisfying than others. Solid whole foods like chicken breast or tofu are often more filling than liquid shakes like whey protein isolate. If you are trying to cut fat while building muscle, choosing the protein foods that keep you fuller for longer can help you stay in a mild calorie deficit without losing muscle mass. There's also a sustainability and accessibility angle when comparing protein foods. While whey protein isolate or steak might be top tier for muscle building, they may be expensive or unavailable in some regions. On the other hand, affordable staples like eggs, milk, lentils, and chickpeas can also deliver excellent protein if used wisely. Understanding how to combine and rotate available protein foods allows anyone, regardless of budget, to build muscle effectively. This is a powerful message for young athletes or students who may think they need expensive supplements to succeed. Finally, Comparing protein-rich foods cultivates nutritional precision. Muscle building is like engineering. Results depend on accuracy. Knowing which foods are most protein-dense, which have the best amino acid balance, which digest quickly, and which complement each other lets you design meals that trigger maximum muscle growth with minimal excess. It shifts your approach from just eating a lot of protein to strategically targeting the best proteins for your goal, which is what separates average progress from exceptional results. So, when you compare protein-rich foods, you are not just comparing numbers on a nutrition label. You are comparing their density, their usability, their amino acid completeness, their digestibility, their supporting nutrients, and their impact on your overall performance. This comprehensive perspective transforms protein from a vague nutrient into a powerful tool. It allows you to build meals scientifically, fuel your training intelligently, and build your body with purpose and precision. That is the power of comparison. It turns your protein intake from guesswork into a muscle-building strategy, and it is one of the smartest habits anyone serious about fitness can develop. When we talk about the powerhouse of plant-based protein sources, we enter a fascinating domain where nature provides nutrition in its purest form, and it becomes clear that plants are far more than just side dishes. They are formidable providers of the building blocks our muscles crave: amino acids. The concept that one needs to consume only animal foods to gain strength and muscle that has been debunked repeatedly by modern nutritional science. Plant-based proteins not only contribute substantial protein, but also offer a spectrum of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and fibers that enhance overall health and athletic performance. Understanding how these plant proteins work and how they can be combined strategically will open a new world of possibilities for anyone serious about building muscle, improving endurance, or simply optimizing their body composition. Among the richest plant protein sources are lentils, chickpeas, black beans, kidney beans, and soybeans, each contributing a remarkable quantity of protein per serving. Lentils, for example, provide around 18 grams of protein per cooked cup, while chickpeas and black beans provide roughly 15 grams. Soybeans lead the plant kingdom with almost 28-30 grams of protein per cup when cooked. What makes soy unique is that it is a complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids in sufficient amounts, just like animal proteins do. This is crucial because most plant proteins are incomplete. They lack one or more essential amino acids. But this can be easily overcome by consuming a variety of plant sources throughout the day. Pairing grains like brown rice or quinoa with legumes like lentils or black beans ensures a full amino acid profile, fueling muscle synthesis efficiently. Quinoa deserves special mention as it's one of the rare plant foods that naturally provide a complete protein profile without needing to be combined with other foods. 1 cup cooked gives about 8 grams of protein, which might seem lower compared to beans or lentils, but its amino acid balance is outstanding. In addition to protein, quinoa is rich in magnesium, iron, and B vitamins that aid in energy metabolism, which indirectly supports muscle recovery and growth. Similarly, chia seeds and hemp seeds, though small in size, are dense with protein and omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation and support joint health, a critical aspect for anyone doing intense workouts. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds can offer 45 grams of protein, while hemp seeds offer about 10 grams per 3 tablespoons. These can be easily added to smoothies, oatmeal, or salads to enrich the protein content without increasing cooking time. Another stellar source is tofu and tempeh, both derived from soybeans. Tofu contains about 20 grams of protein per cup, while tempeh, being more compact and less processed, offers around 31 grams per cup. These are not only high in protein, but also very versatile. They absorb flavors well and can be grilled, baked, stir-fried, or even used in protein-rich smoothies. Their high protein density makes them especially valuable for athletes and bodybuilders who require more protein per calorie intake. Furthermore, tempeh also provides probiotics because of its fermentation, which can enhance gut health and improve nutrient absorption, meaning your body gets more from every bite. Edamame, which are immature soybeans, offer another easy plant protein source, delivering about 17 grams per cup. They are quick to prepare and are a favorite snack among fitness enthusiasts. Then we have seitan, often referred to as wheat meat, which is made from gluten, the main protein in wheat. It delivers a whopping 25 grams of protein per 3.5-ounce serving. Seitan has a texture similar to meat, making it popular among those transitioning to plant-based eating while still desiring a familiar feel in their meals. The catch, however, is that seitan should be avoided by people with celiac disease or gluten sensitivity. But for others, it's a phenomenal high-protein food. Peanuts, almonds, pistachios, and walnuts are also dense in plant protein, averaging about 68 grams of protein per handful, roughly 1 ounce. While they also contain fats, these are heart-healthy unsaturated fats, and their calorie density makes them useful for people who struggle to eat enough to support muscle growth. Peanut butter and almond butter can be incorporated into snacks or smoothies for a quick protein boost. Nut proteins are not complete proteins, but when combined with legumes or whole grains during the day, they contribute significantly to the total amino acid pool your body draws on to build muscle tissue. The biggest concern many people have about plant proteins is their digestibility and bioavailability. It's true that plant proteins can have slightly lower digestibility scores than animal proteins, mainly due to their fiber and anti-nutrient content, like phytates. However, proper preparation techniques like soaking, sprouting, fermenting, or cooking significantly improve digestibility and enhance amino acid availability. For example, soaking lentils or beans overnight and then cooking them well not only makes them easier to digest, but also boosts the bioavailability of their protein and minerals like iron and zinc. Fermented soy products like tempeh, miso are particularly bioavailable because the fermentation process breaks down some of the antinutrients that hinder absorption. In addition to protein, these plant foods carry a rich load of micronutrients, antioxidants, and phytonutrients that support recovery and reduce muscle soreness. Exercise generates oxidative stress in the body, and the antioxidants present in plant-based foods help neutralize free radicals, thereby speeding up muscle repair. The fiber content in plant proteins also supports gut health, which indirectly influences immunity and recovery speed. A healthy gut ensures better absorption of nutrients, including protein, which directly benefits muscle repair and growth after workouts. Energy density is another factor to consider. Since many plant proteins are also rich in carbohydrates, like beans, lentils, and quinoa, they provide the dual advantage of refueling glycogen stores while supporting protein synthesis. This combination is particularly helpful for athletes or individuals performing high-intensity training because it shortens recovery time. On the other hand, for those on calorie-restricted diets, plant protein sources like tofu, tempeh, and seitan offer high protein with relatively lower carbs, helping maintain muscle mass during fat loss phases. To maximize the muscle-building benefits of plant proteins, variety is key. Consuming different types of plant proteins throughout the day ensures you cover all essential amino acids and benefit from the diverse nutrient profiles. This dietary diversity also reduces the risk of food intolerances, supports gut microbiome health, and keeps meals exciting and sustainable. Strategic meal planning could look like this: oatmeal with chia seeds and almond butter for breakfast, quinoa salad with chickpeas and vegetables for lunch, edamame as a snack, and a tofu and vegetable stir-fry for dinner. This kind of pattern delivers a steady flow of protein across the day, which is critical for muscle protein synthesis because the body can't store amino acids long-term and relies on continuous replenishment. The environmental and ethical benefits of plant-based proteins are an added bonus. They require fewer resources like water and land compared to animal farming, and they produce significantly lower greenhouse gas emissions. While this might not directly influence muscle growth, it creates a sense of purpose and sustainability in one's dietary approach, which can increase long-term adherence. Knowing that your meals are not only fueling your body, but also helping the planet can be a powerful motivator for consistency, which is often the hidden ingredient behind successful muscle-building journeys. Ultimately, plant-based protein sources are not inferior by any means. They are powerful allies in building muscle, maintaining strength, and supporting overall health when consumed with intention and variety. The belief that only meat, eggs, and dairy can build muscle is outdated. With careful planning, a plant-based diet can match and even exceed the protein quality and quantity needed for serious training. Nature has equipped these foods with a package of protein, fiber, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and healing compounds. Everything your body needs to grow stronger from the inside out. If approached with knowledge and consistency, these plant protein sources can fuel not just muscles, but resilience, vitality, and peak performance. When we shift our focus toward protein-rich dairy products, we enter an arena of nutrition that has fueled athletes, bodybuilders, and strength seekers for decades. Dairy is often celebrated as one of the most complete and bioavailable protein sources in the human diet, offering an exceptional balance of essential amino acids that the body requires for muscle synthesis and repair. Unlike many plant sources that may need strategic combinations to deliver a complete amino acid profile, dairy foods naturally contain all 9 essential amino acids in highly absorbable forms. This means when someone consumes dairy proteins, their body can utilize them efficiently and rapidly to rebuild muscle fibers damaged during intense physical activity, which is crucial for consistent muscle gains and improved performance. The richness of dairy doesn't stop at protein. It brings along calcium, vitamin D, B vitamins, phosphorus, magnesium, and beneficial fats, which all work synergistically to strengthen bones, support energy metabolism, and enhance muscle function. Among dairy proteins, whey protein stands out as the fastest digesting and most effective for stimulating muscle protein synthesis. Whey is derived from milk during the cheese-making process and contains a rich concentration of branched-chain amino acids, BCAAs, particularly leucine, which plays a direct role in triggering muscle growth at the cellular level. Its rapid absorption means that whey delivers amino acids into the bloodstream quickly, making it the ideal post-workout protein. Within 30 minutes of intense resistance training, muscle cells are especially receptive to nutrients, and whey floods them with the essential building blocks they need to recover and grow. This is why so many athletes consume whey protein shakes immediately after training. It takes advantage of this anabolic window. Studies consistently show that whey is more effective at stimulating muscle protein synthesis than other protein types when consumed post-exercise. In terms of quantity, a typical scoop, about 30 grams of whey protein powder, delivers 24-27 grams of high-quality protein with minimal fats or carbohydrates, making it extremely efficient for building lean muscle mass without adding unnecessary calories. Another crucial dairy protein is casein, which complements whey beautifully due to its slow digesting nature. Casein accounts for about 80% of the protein in milk and forms a gel-like substance in the stomach, releasing amino acids steadily over several hours. This sustained release makes casein perfect for times when the body will be without food for an extended period, such as before sleep. While whey spikes amino acid levels rapidly and then tapers off, casein maintains a slow trickle that prevents muscle breakdown during long fasting periods, like overnight. Research demonstrates that consuming casein before bed increases overnight muscle protein synthesis and reduces muscle protein breakdown, leading to better net muscle gains over time. Foods rich in casein include cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, and milk itself. 1 cup of cottage cheese contains around 25 grams of protein, predominantly casein, while 1 cup of Greek yogurt delivers about 20 grams. Both are easy to incorporate into snacks or meals, offering not only protein but also gut-friendly probiotics that enhance digestion and nutrient absorption. Greek yogurt deserves further emphasis for its role as a versatile and powerful muscle-building food. Through straining, Greek yogurt loses much of its whey, concentrating its protein content to nearly double that of regular yogurt. Its thick texture and creamy taste make it appealing as a standalone snack, a base for smoothies, or a topping for oats, fruit, or granola. It provides not only protein, but also calcium for bone strength and potassium to aid muscle contractions. The probiotics in Greek yogurt improve gut microbiome balance, indirectly supporting better nutrient absorption and immune function, both of which are vital for athletes pushing their physical limits. Eating Greek yogurt after workouts or as part of breakfast can supply a sustained release of amino acids to support recovery throughout the day. Milk itself is an often underestimated powerhouse, containing roughly 8 grams of protein per cup. With a natural blend of whey and casein in a 20-80 ratio, milk offers the best of both worlds: quick amino acid delivery and prolonged muscle nourishment. Studies have shown that consuming milk after resistance exercise increases muscle protein synthesis significantly, sometimes more effectively than carbohydrate-based sports drinks. Its natural composition of protein, carbohydrates mixed from lactose, and electrolytes makes milk an excellent post-workout recovery beverage, especially for those who may not want to rely on supplements. Additionally, milk provides a high level of calcium and vitamin D, which are essential for skeletal strength. Strong bones are the foundation for strong muscles because they provide the leverage for muscle contractions. Without optimal bone health, muscle gains can be undermined by injuries or joint problems. Cheese also contributes significantly to dietary protein, though its higher fat content means portion control is important for those aiming to build lean muscle without excess calories. Varieties like Parmesan cheese contain about 10 grams of protein per ounce, making them dense in protein, while softer cheeses like mozzarella and cheddar cheese deliver 677 grams per ounce. Cheese can be a convenient way to add protein to meals, particularly for people with higher caloric needs who are bulking or training heavily. It also provides vitamin K2, which helps transport calcium into bones, further fortifying skeletal integrity alongside muscle growth. One of the reasons dairy proteins are so effective for muscle building is their high biological values, BV and protein digestibility corrected amino acid score, PDCAs. Whey and casein both score near the top, meaning the body can absorb and utilize almost all of their amino acids effectively. This efficiency is crucial for athletes who need precise nutrient delivery to support rapid recovery and growth. In comparison, Many plant proteins have lower scores because they lack certain essential amino acids or are less digestible due to fiber and antinutrient content. Thus, when muscle building is the primary goal, dairy stands as one of the most potent natural options available. Timing and distribution of dairy protein intake throughout the day can also amplify muscle gains. Consuming dairy proteins every 3 to 4 hours ensures a steady stream of amino acids available for muscle protein synthesis. This prevents muscle breakdown during gaps between meals and maintains an anabolic environment in the body. For example, a person might start the day with Greek yogurt and fruit, consume a whey protein shake after training, have cottage cheese as an afternoon snack, and drink a glass of milk before bed for slow overnight release. This strategic distribution not only enhances muscle recovery, but also improves satiety, helping to regulate appetite and prevent overeating. It's also important to recognize that the benefits of dairy extend beyond protein. The calcium in dairy interacts with phosphorus and vitamin D to maintain bone density, which becomes especially important under the mechanical stress of weight training. Riboflavin and vitamin B12 in dairy support energy metabolism and red blood cell production, respectively, ensuring oxygen delivery to working muscles. The electrolytes like potassium and magnesium aid muscle contraction and relaxation, preventing cramps and supporting training longevity. These complementary nutrients work in harmony with protein to create a strong foundation for muscle development and resilience. Some individuals worry about the fat content in full fat dairy, but it's worth noting that moderate amounts of dairy fats can support hormonal balance, including the production of testosterone, which is vital for muscle growth. For those who prefer leaner options, low-fat or fat-free dairy products still provide the same protein benefits without the extra calories. Both approaches can be effective, and the choice can be tailored based on an individual's caloric needs, body composition goals, and taste preferences. Importantly, consuming dairy as part of whole foods rather than only supplements also improves dietary variety and sustainability, keeping nutrition enjoyable over the long term. Lactose intolerance can be a barrier for some people, but this does not mean they must abandon the benefits of dairy proteins. Lactose-free milk, lactose-free Greek yogurt, and hard cheeses, which naturally contain very low lactose, are all suitable alternatives. Many people who are lactose intolerant tolerate whey protein isolate well because it contains minimal lactose. In cases where dairy cannot be consumed at all, other animal-based proteins like eggs, chicken, or plant-based blends can fill the gap. But for those who can consume dairy, it remains one of the most efficient and well-rounded sources of protein for muscle growth. Ultimately, dairy-based proteins offer a powerful, complete, and scientifically supported way to build muscle mass, improve strength, and enhance recovery. Their blend of fast and slow proteins, their high digestibility, and their wealth of supporting nutrients make them unique in the nutrition world. Whether in the form of whey shakes after training, cottage cheese before bed, or milk with meals, incorporating dairy strategically can accelerate muscle building results dramatically. For anyone on a journey to sculpt a stronger, more resilient body, dairy is not just a food group. It is a finely tuned fuel system designed by nature to build and sustain strength from the inside out. And that brings us to the end of today's journey through the world of protein powerhouses. We explored how protein is the core building block of muscle, how comparing the density, biological value, and digestibility of various protein sources helps us choose the most effective foods, how animal and plant-based proteins can both drive muscle growth when used wisely, and finally, how supporting protein intake with hydration, micronutrients, and balance ensures that every gram you consume works for you, not against you. What becomes clear is that building muscle is not just about lifting heavier weights or eating endless amounts of protein. It's smart, recovering smarter, and fueling the body with precision. From lean meats, fish, eggs, and dairy, to soybeans, lentils, and other plant sources, every choice can be a strategic step toward a stronger, more sculpted body if used in the right combinations and at the right times. Supplements like whey protein can fill gaps, but real, whole foods should always form the foundation of your protein strategy. So as you walk away from this session, remember these muscles aren't built only in the gym. They're built at the dining table, meal after meal, with discipline, balance, and knowledge. When you give your body the highest quality proteins and the support it needs to use them well, you don't just build muscle. You build resilience, strength, and lasting vitality. Stay consistent, stay committed, and as always, build your health before you build your strength. This is Dr. Zee, signing off from Health Zone, where your health becomes your power.